Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. A subscriber asked me whether I expect Bismuth to go straight to the moon or to go there gradually. It's a trick question because neither of them depict the full picture. And to understand that, let's think about a fictional commodity. You have something that doubles every year for 30 years in a row. And you start out with $1 of this commodity. How much will you have in 30 years? Get out your calculator. Figure that out. It's about $1 billion. And now, did you make that billion suddenly or was it gradually? Well, if you sold on day 20, you would have about $1 million. I think most people can understand that $1 million and $1 billion are significantly different numbers. And so you could say that it was very sudden at the end. All of a sudden, everything blew up, right? On the other hand, you could also say it was a very consistent growth during that whole time, right? And so that's how I expect Bismuth to rise, right? And what I'm saying isn't nearly as far-fetched, right? And we can look at some real-life examples where this has been the case, right? Let's look at gold in the 1970s. So gold became legal to own in the United States in 1975. Immediately there was a sell-off, right? A lot of gold came out of hiding. And then in 1976, gold bottomed out at $103 an ounce. And then it started rising again. We were running huge budget deficits from the Vietnam War, from Lyndon Johnson's Great Society. And in the second half of 76, gold rose from $103 to $135. If you annualize that, that's about double a year, right? Just like our hypothetical commodity we were talking about. 77 was the first year of Carter. Gold rose from $130 to $170. And it continued that rise in 78, 165 to 225. See, notice how each of those years had at least a 30 or 40% gain, right? In 79, we had the Iran hostages, we had the oil crisis, and gold almost doubled from more than doubled from 220 to 520. And then we had the last leg of the Hunt brothers in the 1980s when gold went into a bubble from 560 to 850 before COMEX changed their rules. We don't have to worry about this because we're going to hold our Bismuth physically, right? Not as a contract. But notice how there wasn't a point in time where the rate, I guess the rate did somewhat dial up a little bit at the end, but for the most part, we're talking 30, 40, 50% gains a year, right? And that's what a lot of people have a hard time understanding, right? Even the Bitcoin probably didn't have most people imagine some kind of step function jump, right? It only looks like that because we're looking linearly, right? But we don't have linear money, right? When we invest money, we're looking at percentage growth, right? So if you have 10,000 to invest, you don't care about how many dollars you make. You care about what percentage of that 10,000 you can make, right? Now, this also works in reverse. When people talk about hyperinflation, they often talk about waking up and their dollar is worthless. Well, nowhere on earth has hyperinflation happened that way, right? If it did, then people would instantly find something else to barter, right? The fact that people continue to use a hyperinflating currency really goes to show that it happens very gradually at a consistent rate, right? In fact, even if the US dollar never inflated as faster than it is today, we could still have hyperinflation if it keeps continuing, right?